Hispanic, Latino community finally realizing they ain't white. Well, what can I say? We tried to tell y'all.
I see all the fighting between black people and people of color on this app lately. And there's just so much visible divide. And it makes me look back and remember 2020 when everybody pretended to unify with black people. And I miss that. Back then, black people could do no wrong. Every non-black person wanted a piece of the action. And we were happy to give it to them. I saw so many protests where black people were handing over the mic to non-black people, and they'd give it back, till eventually they just kept the mic. And everybody was happy, except the black people that were getting killed. But our ferocious suburban black TikTok leaders graciously allowed everybody to speak over our cause. And it was a wonderful time. We even gave them a Sharpie and let them cross out black on Black Lives Matter. Let them put their race or ethnicity in its place. Word for word, bar for bar. In particular, I remember around last year and the year before, the topic of Hispanics saying the N-word came up. And a lot of black people were like, hey, we're not cool with that. It's not y'all slur. And Hispanic people graciously heard what we said and told us, shut up, nigga. Then we had, the coons come in and tell us that y'all don't understand the culture of Hispanics calling black people the N-word where they're from. When it all died down, everybody's fine. They continued to casually say nigga, and nobody said anything. There was a podcast where some Mexicans were mad that Kendrick Lamar only had one Mexican on stage during a Juneteenth performance, and they didn't know what Juneteenth was after we just celebrated Cinco de Mayo the month before. So they kept on, coming with a little heat, and then the election came, and it was a bunch of Latinos for Trump, and, a good portion of them. They weren't all Mexicans, of course. And we kept it pushing like we always do. We said this is going to backfire on you. Black people kept moving, forgetting about when, Hispanic people, Mexicans in particular, would call black people monkeys repeatedly on work site in their own neighborhoods. Forgot about the race wars in LA. From my understanding, in the prison system, Mexicans usually side with white supremacists. The black people on TikTok ignored it, kept on pushing. The Mexicans, the Hispanics, they're our brothers and sisters. Then the election happens and Trump gets into office and starts doing all the things he said he was going to do. Black people took this election as a form of betrayal because Trump is directly really going to harm black people. So the deportation started happening. Black people said, we're going to mind our business. And Mexican people like, wait a minute, niggas, but we stood with you, then took your movement. You've always spoken out against the anti-immigration stuff. You always have black community before, even now when everybody else is doing it. Y'all have always spoke out against it. Well, not this time. We've asked you repeatedly, y'all keep disrespecting us. And the Mexicans say, fine, niggers. That's why your people were in chains and you were slaves. And a lot of y'all tried to run to Mexico. It was about 3,000 to 10,000 of you. And we took you in. And we didn't send you back to America. We kept you niggers. Okay, and black people, we've heard of that before, right? We've always, wow, they did do that for us. Underground Railroad, right? But nobody talks about the treatment in Mexico after they ran away there. And that's because runaway black people in Mexico got put right back into a type of slavery very similar to chattel slavery. On the books, it said that black people had rights, but in reality, they was on plantations and shit. In reality, they would get whipped, and even though it was against the law, nobody enforced it. And that whole we stood up and fought so that they couldn't kidnap y'all thing was most likely because it was an economic advantage to damn near free labor from niggas. Seems like another source of reparations that black people are owed. In addition to that, they were ostracized, looked down upon, but eventually did intermingle, have Afro Mexicans. And those Afro Mexicans apparently still experience discrimination from their Mexican halves. Nigga with the soft A and nigga with the ER is the same meaning. It's just the soft A with us because we speak AVE. But the meaning is the same. Even if it wasn't, it's still our slur. And y'all have a perfectly good slur in Spanish for black people, don't you? A couple of them. I'll respect you more if you call me a slur in your own language. Don't try to use the English version. The reaction of Mexican people being told no by black people for them immediately to start sounding like the white people they say that they hate. For them to sound exactly, in fact, worse. They sound worse than what white people say to us because they think they have a right to. Should have kept you in chains? Those are real comments that I have. I can show screenshots. It proves our point. You already had that queued up. I don't think about other races, to be honest, except about what they did to my people. So if I were to have a comeback to somebody of a different race, I wouldn't go to their oppression. I'll talk about how they oppressed my people, but I would never talk about their oppression. I wouldn't know to think of it. I didn't look down at them like that, right? But y'all threw an extreme trauma in our face. Slavery. They're coming after us next. They've been at us. Your problem is you're used to black people either being your attack dog or your shield. And since we won't be either, y'all showed that you've always thought the same way as white people do. And it's really fucked up because while y'all are mocking our slavery, they're setting up prison camps for y'all and trying to push lifetime imprisonment, which is stuff our black people already go through, still going through slavery. And while they're doing that, if y'all took time to go look, you see a whole bunch of black women teachers, black men teachers, saying that if ICE came in their school, they'll protect your child. I don't believe any other race of people is going to protect no child. But I do believe that black people will. Won't protect their own kids, but go out of our way to protect Mexican kids from ICE. I do believe that. They are willing to do that and make that sacrifice, and even if they got on here and talk shit, I do believe that they would still try to help your child. And y'all got on here and disrespected the only people that have ever been in your fucking corner. We don't owe you a goddamn thing. Y'all came here into black neighborhoods most of the time, and we took you in and took care of y'all. When black people take in the Mexican illegal immigrant that barely speaks English, black men be hanging out with them, chilling with them at work, whatever. When the white people do it, it's to mock. When black people do it, it's genuine and I'm mocking them. You go look on these videos and you'll see black people saying things like, yeah, Mexican buddy, they want to be friends, they'll bring you a beer. And that's actually happened to me. It was at my apartment a long time ago. He was trying to get on though, didn't speak a lick of English. I don't know where he thought that was gonna go. White people mock y'all. The ones that don't speak English look down at them. White people were raised to look at Mexicans as inferior, Hispanics as inferior. Black people were taught to watch out for Mexicans for our safety, not in the white people way. It was they're racist towards black people too. Be careful. Still let y'all in. Come into our culture. You still call us the N-word. Everybody else looks down on y'all. Some black people even say y'all was the new niggas. And it wasn't in a derogatory way. It was a way to connect with y'all, to let you into our community because everyone else rejected you. And this is what you do. And I don't want to hear, you can't generalize them just because it's a few. We don't do that to white people. I'm not doing it to nobody else. Because the fact is, racism towards black people is deeply rooted in the Latino community. That's why Brazilians hate themselves when the most niggas was dropped off over there. And the Dominicans, I know black, I Dominican. And y'all wasn't taking white people jobs. I'm just going to say it. Y'all couldn't have. The black wages dropped. And it consequently pushed more black men into prison. because they started committing more crimes. Let's see who got this far.
Okay, random memory unlocked. Back in high school, I remember this Hispanic dude talking mess. Then, out of nowhere, he pulled out this cola line. Me and my guys were like, what? So I asked him about it, and he broke it down. At the time, I thought, that's wild. But now, it's really sinking in.
This is just an observation, so please don't judge me, and I won't judge you because things can get ugly before things will get beautiful. Chris Brown. Have y'all noticed that non-black Americans always come to black Americans with their hands out? Can you protest for me? Can you do a GoFundMe? Can you fight ICE for me? They never come bringing anything to the table. And even when people call them out on their anti-blackness, they're not willing to sit down and listen to you or validate your concerns. Matter of fact, they'll tell you to stop playing victim. Pipe down. The same people that say seek out a black woman if you need help will be the same people that turn around and dogpile a black woman. The same people that say, oh, black women have attitudes and they too loud are the same people that want her loudness and her attitude when they're advocating for their cause.
If you hate immigrants and you're for the mass deportations, hate them all the way. Stay out of beautiful Mexico, stay out of the beautiful beaches, retire in your own country. I never want to see you go to another Mexican restaurant to order enchiladas, burritos, tacos, margaritas, none of that. You're not even allowed to have Taco Bell, even though that's a knockoff version of Mexican food. Never touch another bottle or shot of tequila in your life ever again. Don't go visit beautiful Mexico. Stay out of Tulum, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, all of those. Go visit Nebraska, go visit Kansas, stay out of beautiful Mexico, go visit the red states that you love so much. Clean your own house and mow your own lawn. Get in the field and start picking fruit. Go build the houses and I want to see you pop them up quick. No more listening to salsa, merengue, bachata, reggaeton, cumbias, none of that. Listen to your own music. You don't get to love the culture, but hate the people that created the culture. And if you're a Latino that hates immigrants and that is for the mass deportations, never in your life use that Latino card ever again, because you just use it when it benefits you. Call yourself a gringo, act as white as you can, and let me know if they see you as one of them.
If I didn't think that some black women just naturally have, I don't know, like mammy DNA in them, I believe it now. I'm on my way to go do after school pickups for our kids, and I see a video where apparently, I guess there's all these black teachers who are making TikToks about if ICE comes to get the kids, the students, they're willing to fight and go to jail, be harmed, whatever, to protect these kids. And people are making videos saying, oh my God, that's so great. And it's so awesome what the black women teachers are doing and fighting for our kids. And I mean, I'm just floored. I can't believe there's still black women like this that exist, that still are willing to risk their bodies, their mental wellness, their physical well-being in a place where no one has ever, and I mean ever, besides on an individual basis, maybe in your individual lives, I've experienced it, but as a whole, black women have never, by and large, experienced anyone ever coming to our rescue and risking life and limb for our protection or anything that is an offspring of us, for that matter, anything that resembles us. And the fact that there's so many black women apparently making these videos saying how they will risk their lives over this is insane to me, because I guarantee you those people would not do the same for you. They would not do the same for your children, not even close. But alas, like I said, when I see things like this, there is no other logical explanation. It has to be the DNA. It has to be that there are some black women who just, the mammy genes are just so active. They're so activated that they literally just cannot help themselves. But yeah, you know, I don't know. Be safe. Like, what? Wow. The martyrdom is crazy. Love y'all so much. Oof. Stay soft.
This is so crazy that we voted for Trump. Ma'am, who is we? Not we. Not we. You. And 64% of y'all. Because 92% of us voted the way that we did so that we could avoid such drastic measures that are being taken. Not just in your situation, but in a multitude of situations. You had our empathy. You had our thoughts. You had our prayers. You also had our votes. And I'm trying to understand, what did you think you would accomplish by coming on this app and then becoming defensive when people are telling you the exact thing that we said before the election? Did you think people were going to be like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. We did try to tell you, but now let's try to help you. Oh no, I think you should just start journaling. I think all your little thoughts and all the things that you got going on that's manifesting in that head, I think you need to pick up a pen and paper. Write it down, because telling it to the masses is, you're not going to get the responses that you're looking for. And you certainly just aren't going to get the sympathy or the empathy that you had before the election, because you showed us who you were. You already showed us who you are. You wasn't thinking about us. You didn't care about us. When the results came out, you was happy. You was doing cartwheels.
This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean when I tell you that there are Latinos that are white. It's a different kind of whiteness. They're at the bottom of the hierarchy of whiteness, at the very, very, very bottom, and they get manipulated by all of the other whites for their intentions, right? But at the end of the day, you go back to those countries, and they're white over there. These are the descendants of Spaniards. These are the OG racists, okay? This is how they regard us. Even when you watch, like, all these television shows from Mexico and these other places, the racism is rampant in it, all right? This is exactly how they think. And this is why this country is going the way that it's going. Because we keep bringing people in here that are like this. The only thing they care about is immigration that benefits them. But when it comes down to women, and when it comes down to anyone that is darker skinned, they don't give a damn. They will gladly allow you to fight for them. And then the second they get a chance, this is what happens, okay? And if you think she's not white, that's what she looks like. That's what she looks like. She looks like an Arab, right? Because a lot of Latinos look like Arabs. But look at the color of her skin. Back in Mexico, this woman is at the top of the hierarchy. This is why I'm telling women, stop fighting for immigration for people that are fighting against your rights and that regard you as lesser than them. This is not unusual. This is very, very common. Latinos do the whole, like, they'll do it right to your face. Because I've had Latinos, like Salvadorians and stuff, call me slurs right to my face because they thought I was African American. But they have a lot of dog whistles too. Pelo malo. Like, they have a lot of little things that they say and do. This right here is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Stop, especially black women. Stop fighting for the rights of these people to come into this country. Because I'm willing to bet that if the right were ever to say, oh yeah, immigration is fine. And and women are fine, right? Because she's a woman. But we don't want to have anything to do with darker skinned people. This would be a Republican.
I think the funniest thing for me is, like, immigrants trying their hardest to separate themselves from black culture, black people, blackness, all of that. Like, we're not black. I'm no black. I'm no black. You know, I'm not black. I'm Indian. I'm not black. I'm this. I'm not black. I'm not. Whatever. Cool. Case may be. But that's literally been their biggest downfall, because at least when we walk in a room with white people, we understand the power dynamic. They don't. And so since they don't understand the power dynamic, because the white people are telling them that there isn't one, and they're like, oh yeah, we're not racist or whatever, you took that and you believed it, yeah, you offended them. You pissed them off. You shoved too much of your elbow in their face. They don't like that. We try to tell y'all, and y'all wasn't just trying to listen. Y'all thought y'all was one of them. What did we tell you? You would never be one of them. And you told us that we were crazy. That's insane. Now look at y'all. About to get kicked. What a shit.
I'm sorry, but I am not sorry. A proud member of the 92%. I am not doing no marching, no protesting. I ain't signing no petitions. I'm not shopping somewhere. I ain't canceling no memberships. I'm not doing any of that. I did what I was supposed to on November the 5th. I'm not going to help make a stand, put their money where their mouth is. I did what I was supposed to do on November 5th. So for the next 4 years, this is how I'm choosing to prioritize my peace. I'm minding 92% of my black ass business, and y'all can do whatever you want.
I seen a video of, I guess, some Mexican people wondering why black people ain't stomping for, I guess them getting shipped out. But it's like, man, y'all don't stomp for us. You know what I'm saying? We tired. We tired of stumping for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's all we used to do. We stomp for other people harder than we stomp for ourselves. And now we waking up and it's just like, hey, grow you a set of nuts and fight your own battles. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of Latino people in general don't really care for us. You know what I'm saying? They come with the same racism that white people come with when it come to black people. And matter of fact, all other people. That's why I don't do that whole people of color talk. Everybody want to be player two to white supremacy. Nah, fight your own.
Now I see all these posts talking about Border Patrol is coming to arrest people, neighbors and stuff. Y'all ain't give up when y'all endorsed Trump. Y'all ain't give up when y'all voted for Trump. Now we should care? I don't care. I remember seeing Hispanics on the news, illegal immigrants on the news saying, we don't have any faith in Kamala. Trump is not going to just put us out the country. I don't know why y'all thought he wasn't. This is the originator of the war. This is the originator of the war. See the difference, and that's the problem. So many people of color that are not African Americans think they are better than us. But let me let y'all know something. We got a motherfucking golden ticket up in this motherfucking state. Ain't nobody putting us out of here. America is just as much as ours as them white people. Y'all mothers is illegal in this country thinking that y'all have a better chance of being successful in this country than us is crazy. Y'all voted for a motherfucker that is literally trying to exterminate y'all. No matter what y'all bring to the country, they trying to exterminate y'all. And y'all voted for him. Y'all had faith in him. Y'all cousins and y'all meemaws and y'all pawpaws and y'all aunties and y'all uncles and y'all brothers and y'all sisters voted somebody in. Went against the grain. And now it's pray for us. Pray for what? This is what y'all wanted. The best thing that I can do and the best thing I can tell every illegal immigrant in this country, either pull y'all kids out of school and create an underground railroad. For real. Create some type of system that will feed y'all, house y'all, clothe y'all, and protect y'all for the next 4 years. Or buy a plane ticket out of this country, go to y'all home country for the next 4 years, and come back when he's out of office. But if you allow ICE to arrest you, you are going to be permanently banned from this country. Period. So if you think that ICE isn't coming after you, if you think Border Patrol will not take your ass in, you got another thing coming. So if you want to protect yourself and protect your kids' future and protect your future and your assets, I would advise y'all to go back to y'all country and do not allow ICE to pick y'all up. Because once they pick y'all up, it's just like a slave catching. They don't care. Bring them back dead or alive. That's what it was. So black people know exactly what's going on. We know the lengths that they're gonna go to catch y'all. We know. We already seen this happen to our people many years. And that's why it's always, I don't know why y'all thought y'all was different. I don't know. But I'm not praying for nobody. I'm not praying for nobody. My praying hands is for myself and my black women. That is it. And the black children in our community. That is it. I don't talk about what y'all got going on.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave this shit alone. But everybody is asking for mercy for the good immigrants. And I get all immigrants are not criminals. And some of them are here living and doing the right thing. They really are. But if you think that if my black ass went over to Mexico, you think they'll treat me like that? If I live next door to them and went to their country, you think they'll help me? Or do you think they'll help you? If you were an immigrant and went over into their country, do you think that they would do all for you that we do for them? No, they would not. They'll treat you like total shit. I ain't gonna even say all that on here, but no, they won't. But they want sympathy over here in our country because it's the promised land. They're able to work, strive, and take care of their kids and all that. I get that. I do. But give the American people an opportunity as well. Give it to them as well. That's all I'm saying. If they done us the same way we do them, people probably wouldn't have a problem with it. But if you go into those countries, you're not going to get what you get over here.
Just be real. You're not. Half of the Mexican people you meet in the street be nasty and rude, don't want to speak, all type of shit. Like, I'm sorry that they got to go back. You know, especially the ones that done built a whole little life over here for them and stuff. Hopefully they saved up enough money. Now they're going back, they can go back to their country and live pretty decent, because our money is worth more over there. So if they were smart and thinking, they should have been saving that money, because they never know all good things must come to an end. They should have knew Trump. They should have been preparing themselves when he started running. They should have been saving and putting it together then. Because all he been talking about is a mass deportation. I mean, so if they haven't been saving up that money from working in hospitals and hotels and restaurants and construction working and doing all that, instead of paying and having other family members smuggled over here, they should have been saving it for when they have to go back. It is what it is. And it's not a debate, and I'm not going to debate with y'all. You can say whatever you want to say. You can feel however you need to feel, and you can say whatever you need to say on this post. But it ain't going to change my mind how I think or feel about anything. Our people go over there, get murdered. Don't even... Because you do have a lot of American people who go over there and terrible things happen to them and they don't come back home. Because the cartel be looking for anybody to do the unthinkable too. And everybody's a threat in their country if you're not from over there. They treat their own people like that. And I get the ones that are trying to flee from that. I do. But go to another country. Go to another country. You don't have to come to America. You don't have to come here. Go to another country. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, kids going to be, Trump is, the child born here and the parents not. And, I mean, he ain't caring. He thinking about the American people. He not thinking about nobody else. The American people. And it's about time somebody thought about just us and not the other country and the other people. It's about time somebody thought about just us. So, with that being said, y'all have a great evening.
So this is a message for Hispanic people or Latina people, not just the white presenting Latinos, all of them, including the more Afro Latinos, when it comes to this whole deportation thing and solidarity with the black community. You guys have no right to be angry at black people who choose not to want to support or have solidarity with you. And the only reason why I say this is because the amount and level of disrespect that we Black Americans have suffered from the Hispanic community when we tried to have solidarity in the past is astronomical. And you guys know about that disrespect, because try being a Latina woman with your whole family and bring home a black man as your boyfriend and tell them that you want to marry him. And how would your family respond to that? Because I know a lot of you, if you brought home a black person, like a Black American, your family is not having that. So how could we possibly have solidarity when the whole family is like, you bring home a black person and it's just like their head starts spinning and they have an issue with that? On top of that, and also what adds insult to injury is basically saying when Hispanic people deny racism, like the fact that they're racist and the fact that they're colorist, the first time that it hit me about the Hispanic racism back in your own countries is when Black Panther, the second Black Panther came out, and the guy who played Namor, I forgot his name, the guy who played Namor talked about how you guys treat darker skinned people and indigenous people in your own countries. And that mentality, you guys bring it here into this country, especially after we black people have went through a lot of strides in this country to get certain things put in place for civil rights. And instead of leaving that at the door in those countries, you guys bring those mindsets with you. And then on top of that, literally here on TikTok, there was a girl who had like 1 million views, and I still have the video and I can pull it, where she was talking about, she was only 20, And she was I could tell she was having a hard time articulating herself because she was crying and emotional. She was talking about how she experienced racism and discrimination from her Hispanic community. And she said she was an Afro-Latina, and how she couldn't get a job and couldn't get hired. And a lot of these jobs are expecting you to speak Spanish. And so when I came behind her and I pointed out, yes, there are some things in the Hispanic community, what she's saying is true. It's just like the responses that I was getting from Hispanic people is just like the gaslighting that I would get from white people who try to deny racism. It's basically they were trying to say, oh, well, she wasn't qualified for the job. She wasn't. The same shit white people say. So if you do not have, none of you guys have a right to be mad at any black person for not wanting to stand behind y'all in solidarity. Because from me, I used to work a job when I was younger in a restaurant. And the Hispanic dudes, a whole bunch of Hispanic dudes back there, and they was not American, and they would just say the craziest stuff, and I had to check them. And after I checked them, they ain't saying nothing to me after that. Even with my best friend. She worked at a restaurant, whole bunch of Hispanic dudes working in the back, calling her the hard ER and the B word, and she checked them, and they ain't say nothing to her after that. They ain't say nothing to her after that. So a lot of us black Americans have very negative experience with you Hispanic people who, you guys are very racist. You have disrespected us. And so, yeah, we're aware of the disrespect. And I understand maybe on an individual level where if it's a Hispanic, a Hispanic person that I know on an individual level, that's something completely different. But as a collective level, Hispanic people have not broken down their own racism and white supremacy and disrespect. And they fail to realize that in this system, in the United States of America, you guys, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, I don't care how pale your skin is. If you're a Hispanic person, you're closer to a black person than you are to a white person on this hierarchy. And Asian people are actually higher up on the hierarchy than you guys are. So if black people don't want to be in solidarity and don't want to help, I don't feel like we should not be shamed for it. And you guys have no right to misdirect your anger towards us. If a black woman says, I'm not protecting these kids, if ICE comes, whatever, or if a black person says, I'm calling ICE, or if a black person says, oh, well, I'm not going to support, I'm just going to sit back and rest and this, that, and that. Y'all have no right to be angry with us. No right. No right to be angry with us, especially after all the disrespect that not only we take from you guys, but other immigrant groups do it to us too, especially the Asians. And to add insult to injury, for me to find out that Asian people, and I don't know how true this is with the Hispanic people, but I heard that Hispanic people wanted to be classified closer to white than they did back in the day instead of being in solidarity with black people for fighting for civil rights and equal rights, which is just insane to me. And it was I wish I kept the video. It was one Hispanic civil rights activist that basically was saying, oh, the black man struggle or the black struggle is not our struggle, this, that, and third. So they just basically didn't want to have solidarity with us. So please don't ask the black.
All right, y'all. That's it for today's video. Let me know what you think about these topics in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And above all else, stay safe out here. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.